Okay, guys, we need to talk. We need to talk about AI art, and we need to talk about it right fucking now. You see this shit right here? It's already happening. I actually did this entire video yesterday, and day to day, it just gets worse. And now I have to redo this again because it's already happening. So here's what I was saying about AI art. I also want to touch on another video. I want to respond to another YouTuber who made a video about AI art, arguably one of the biggest art content creators on the platform, and his attitude about it and how it made me feel. But first, I just want to briefly give you an overview. Unless you've been like hiding in a swamp, you have been hearing about AI art. This is, in the past few weeks, blown up absolutely exponentially. And that's because now it's the easiest thing to do. All you need is to download Discord, type in blah, 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 imagine, and then type in a bunch of fucking keywords, and it'll spit you out all kinds of shit. So there's some pros, but for me, mostly it's cons. So first thing I want to talk about is the effect that it has on living artists. Now, first you might think, well, what's the problem? Well, I'll tell you what the fucking problem is. If I can go into Midjourney, right, and I can type in, make me X in the style of Y, being a specific artist we're going to ape their style, like literally rip them off, we have a problem because these people are feeding their children with what I can only quantify as a lifetime of hard work to develop that style. And this AI can rip it off just by typing in their fucking name. And it's not okay. So, well, we have some time, maybe you say. Well, it's going to be a while. Well, look right fucking here. It's already happening. The Atlantic used AI Midjourney to create this art, which means that's an illustrator that didn't get a job. And this is going to be happening more and more and more and more. And I see a lot of people on Instagram, great artists. I don't know if they've been given money. I don't know what their motivation could possibly be for hyping this thing up. But I can only let them know that the hand that is either feeding them or whatever is going to very soon turn around and slap the taste out of their mouths. And that's just a fact. Okay, every input you put into the Midjourney, you're teaching the AI to do it better, and it's just aping living artists, dead artists, currently whatever you want to call it. It spits out in any number of styles. So to me, this is the death knell. The bell is fucking tolling. We're done. If you spent 20 years perfecting your craft, because it's hard, let's be honest. Creating art is fucking difficult. If you spent 20 years perfecting your craft to finally develop your own style, to be proficient at it, to create something that you think companies might want, that maybe they're going to want some of me. I worked really hard for this. No, they're not going to want it anymore. They're not going to want to pay for that. There's very few areas of the arts and design that AI is not encroaching on. If you're a graphic designer, guess what? You're fucked too. That's me. I'm fucked. If you're a concept artist, you're probably double fucked. If you're a 3D modeler, at the moment, I think you're only just the tip, just a little bit right now, but it's lubing. It's coming. There's very few areas that are safe. Your job is about to be automated. Artists are about to be supermarket checkout people. We've been replaced with the fucking barcode scanner. It's absolutely terrible. So here's my issues. After that little ranting intro, 1, you're taking food out of existing and living artists' mouths. It's one thing to type in, make me something in the style of Leonardo da Vinci. It's another thing to say, make me something in the style of insert living artist that's known right now. I'm not going to name a bunch of names, but you can do it. Like just your favorite Instagram artist, you can rip them off And I don't think that that's okay, because people are saying, oh, well, it'll never replace artists, blah, blah, blah. That's fucking naive. It's ridiculously naive. And I'm going to tell you why. Because two things are going to happen. One, companies aren't going to want to pay artists because artists are expensive. Artists have opinions. We have brains. We like to say things. Every company that I have ever worked at, there is an art department and they work together with a marketing department. And in my experience, the marketing people generally, they don't like the art department, because the art department, as I said before, they have brains, they have ideas, and they tend to advocate for themselves. They tend to let you know when what you're asking for is fucking stupid. And marketing people don't like that. So if you think for 1 second that they will not jump at the chance to replace, 10 art directors or whatever the makeup of that staff is with just a couple of people who punch in keywords, or even just have a one desk in the marketing department where they go and they punch in keywords, then you're absolutely insane. Because they will 100% jump at the chance to just not only save a bunch of money, but to streamline their process. It's really just what it's definitely going to be. The other part is that, in my opinion, and God, I hope I'm wrong, we're not going to get any more Leonardo da Vinci's. We're never going to get another H.R. Giger. We're probably never going to get another Beksinski. And the reason for that, very simply, is that it is no longer economically feasible for somebody to dedicate the amount of time and energy that it takes to take your craft to that level. Because if you dedicated that amount of time, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to take care of your kids and feed them? You're not. You're going to have to do art for art's sake in your own time. I really got a little upset after watching this one video from this guy named PIX Imperfect, who I said before, one of the biggest art content creators, and his whole attitude in his video was simply, oh my God, this is so cool. I don't know how I feel, but let me explain to the 5 million people that watch this video exactly how you do it, and really emphasizing, like, big warning in there. He put a big warning in there and it says, oh, well, everyone can see your stuff, so this is how you make it so it's not visible. Meanwhile, the title of his video was, is this the death of art or death of the artist or whatever it is? He didn't touch on that at all. And I found that to be extremely flippant. And I can only put him in the category of the people who would just jump at the chance to sell out their fellow human beings when the aliens or whoever comes to take over the planet, they're going to sell you out in a second just to get a little extra bread. Maybe a safe house they can live in. They can be the fucking overlord's pet. And that sucks. You know how I know that? He's straight up simping for Midjourney? It's because he even said in the video, hey, how about a sponsorship? You telling your followers to go follow your buddy on Instagram who only makes AI art is bullshit. Because that brings up another question. Is an AI artist an artist? And I would say categorically, fuck no. You're a keyword inputter. So is that the new role? Will that be the new role for the art department, to just type in some keywords? That's not a high-skilled job. That's not a job that requires years of practice and diligence, right? So it brings me back to my first point. Why the hell would anybody go to art school? Unless you're a millionaire and you can afford to just fuck off and paint. Say, Mommy, I want to paint. We're very disappointed, but just, take the summer cottage and you can go paint in the summer cottage. Sounds very nice. Actually, summer cottage would be great. But unless that's you, it would never be feasible at this point for you to go to art school, spend that time, spend that money. Art school isn't cheap. Or if you didn't want to go to art school, to spend the thousands and thousands of hours it would take for you to perfect your craft. And this is, I want to say it's a problem. At the end of the day, it's a fundamental shift. Now, I don't want to be that guy who rages against progress, but I think as a whole, humanity is going to take a net loss here. Because as I said, we're not going to get any more Leonardo da Vinci's. We're not going to get any more unique artists. The ones who have done it now and are existing now, I think are going to be the very last generation. And that to me is a loss. And so the counterpoint is, oh, well, AI art will be its own thing. It's going to have its own level of creativity. And what I would argue, if the AI art can only use existing parameters, right? Octane render, ultra high realistic, blah, 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 in the style of X and Y artist. Is that original, or is that just a bunch of stolen ideas and looks just in a blender? It's just a bunch of shit. Do you want to live in a world that doesn't produce any more Leonardo da Vinci's when it's all just AI doing this, where there is absolutely no incentive, or forget about even incentive, plausible avenue to pursue a career in arts? There is very few spaces that has been untouched by this, and this thing is in its absolute infancy. And people are jumping on this thing like it's just full of gold, and it's like the massage pot. Oh, it's so good. I love it. No, it's not good. So the big question is, for me, am I just completely biased and I'm a reactionary asshole? I mean, yes, that's absolutely true. But is my reaction and the existential dread that I'm feeling, is that unwarranted? I would say that it's not unwarranted at all. I mean, you see it right here. It's already happening. The Atlantic decided that it would be better for them to punch in some keywords than to hire an illustrator, or to even hire an artist to punch in those keywords. Because if you think that, oh, well, I'm just going to use this as an ideation tool to produce concepts faster, well, sure, you can do that, but do you think a company is going to hire you to do that when they can have the fucking intern do it who doesn't even get paid? Now, the copyright stuff on this, this is going to come kind of sort itself out in the next few years. But I would say for sure that a lot of artists are going to see work that looks like theirs being used by companies that they've never been in contact with, and they're going to have very little legal recourse unless there's some sort of class action lawsuit, because you don't have money. Who's got money? Who's concept artists who's, working gig to gig on video games or whatever? Like, they don't have that kind of money to hire a lawyer. Of course not. And they're banking on that. So all the people I see, saying, oh my God, this is so great, I can bang out concepts so quickly. Sure, you can, but enjoy it while you can, because once they catch on, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're done, we're done, or the amount of shit that they expect to receive in a day is going to exponentially increase. So don't think you're getting your time back and like, oh, I can go outside and play. I'm going to go ride my bike and spend time with my kids. That's not going to happen. If anything, you're going to have to get a new career, a different kind of job. Better sell some NFTs while you still can. I think that shit's done too. Or you should have bought Ethereum a few weeks ago, but that shit, who knows what's up with that. Nothing good here. So let me know what you guys think. Am I being drastic, or is this just a cool thing that people can use? You let me know in the comments below. I'm going to keep making videos about this. I want to keep this conversation going. So if you're angry, let me know. If you're not angry, also let me know. Call me an asshole. I love it. All right, guys.